Hi, guys. It is Saturday once again. We've got a fun one for you today. Something I think is pretty easy. I put a lot of the emphasis on this piece into the background and into some jewels because I thought that was a technique you might find interesting and that maybe you've never done before. So we're going to tackle that. Renee is with us.
Hi.
We finally got him out of bed. He's had a long week.
I am tired.
He is tired. But he'll be fine. Once we feed him,
Coffee.
he'll be fine. And he'll have his
Empty.
coffee. Is empty. Should have filled it before he came down.
Shut up.
Yeah, so we're doing a nutcracker today. My daughter inspired this one. One of the things that her and I do, our job at Christmas time, the boys handle the Christmas lights and all the stuff outside, and Dominic and I take care of the stuff for the inside. And one of our favorite things is and we do have a rather significant collection of nutcrackers from over the years. So she and I, crackers that her and I have collected over the years, and it's a fun one to paint. This one uses the M2-3, the Flourish stencil for the background, but you could use any type of flourishy, busy, florally type pattern for the background. It doesn't have to be that one exactly. We just sort of want to create sort of a velvet brocade type look in the background. So it's a fun one. It's easy. It's not a difficult technique. I think you're going to enjoy that. So we have quite a bit on our plate for what essentially is a 6x10 wooden tag. So that'll keep us busy for at least an hour or so. But in the meantime, I have not a shout out. I had Happy Mail this week, and I wanted to say thank you very much to Faye Reed. I got this lovely little note card with a little note inside that said, "I saw this and thought of you. Enjoy." It's these cool little coasters for the car. They're absorbent and they take care of the moisture at the bottom of the cup holder in the car. And of course, they have skulls on it. So I'm a happy camper. So Faye, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. That was very sweet of you. So that was our Happy Mail. The other Happy Mail I got, my wallet doesn't like that, but,
No.
but it's all good. So what else happened this week? Other than like 4-year-olds running around yelling profanity in the art gallery.
She was cute.
She was adorable.
She was hilarious.
Renee had a little visitor that got into a cordoned off section in the gallery this week. And when she saw the mural in that section that is not open to the public yet, she yelled to her mother, "Holy crap!" Only it wasn't holy crap that she said, and
It
I
was
want to
the
keep
S word.
it was the S word, and I want to keep my PG rating. So yeah, so she was rather entertaining, but she couldn't have been more than about 4 years old, so it was funny. Renee found it very funny.
All I could do was smile and hold back laughter.
Yeah, I on the other hand did not hold back laughter when he told me because I thought it was hilarious. I'm sure her mother was a little bit mortified, but whatever.
It was quite an entertaining day.
It was an entertaining day. At least it's not picking up like guns and things like that, so it's all good.
Yeah. That's also an entertaining day.
But in a
Turns
totally
out you're not allowed to keep them. So.
no, it's frowned upon.
Eh.
We do have gun control in this country, so
Use both hands.
yeah, use both hands. That's right.
Got some really happy mail yesterday. My order from Tracy and Sheila came in.
Ooh, that's always fun getting an order from Sheila.
Yeah, and my 2022 colors came in, so I reorganized my paint so I can see them all. Fun.
Oh yeah, that's always a good day when you can play and paint. It's a good day.
I have a huge collection of nutcrackers starting when my daughter started ballet at 3 years old. Wow.
We started collecting nutcrackers when Dominic was a baby. So, and we have quite a collection.
I don't remember a time where there wasn't nutcrackers at Christmas time.
I know.
So
We have some that are quite tall. We have quite a few. One of my favorites out of our collection. I went to teach with some wonderful ladies in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And in Las Cruces, there is a Christmas shop that is open year-round. And my hostess took me there one afternoon. We decided after the teaching was all done, we were going to take an afternoon to just go shopping and walk through the streets of Las Cruces. And it was a fabulous day. And she took me to this Christmas shop, and I found a nutcracker for Dominic. Had to get it. It's a Mexican nutcracker. He's wearing a sombrero and a zarape, and he is just flipping awesome, but he's one of our favorites, if you can imagine it.
Anyone ever found a bodybuilder nutcracker?
I have seen those, yes.
Okay.
No, don't have one. We try to stick fairly close to the traditional variety.
Sheila Landry says you will have something on the way next week.
Okay, I'm afraid. It's probably a kitty.
Something.
I have a lumberjack nutcracker.
Yeah?
We bought that because it reminded us, both of us, of you.
Oh.
With the red plaid shirt.
Okay.
And the beard.
And the beard. Okay.
So yeah, that's why. But that's where the inspiration for today's piece came from, was that collection of nutcrackers. And so I thought it would be fun to do it. And it would finish off our Christmas in July thing. And because it's Christmas in July, and we've had a lot of giveaways each week. We've had 4 each week, and then really nice brush sets. So we have another 4 to give away this week, and they are all Dynasty Faux Squirrel sets. I believe it's a 5 brush set.
Yes, sir.
And they're already packaged. They've already got the postage on them. All we need is names to put on those envelopes. So I think that if we're going to get to spinning that wheel, then we should get to some painting.
Yes.
Yes.
We got a couple. Virginia Hedges says her glazing medium from Joe Sonia's showed up.
Yay!
Now she's floating like a boss.
Right on. Glad to hear that. I'm trying to get my Facebook crashed again.
Visited a nutcracker factory when I lived in Germany.
Yep, me too. Used to go to the Christmas market every year in either Nuremberg or Rodenberg.
I live in Las Cruces, New Mexico. You cracker somewhere.
I've looked, haven't found one yet.
You haven't found one yet?
No. I found a witch.
You found a witch nutcracker?
Yeah, we have a witch nutcracker, but I haven't found. I would love to get like a Day of the Dead nutcracker. I think that would be flippin' awesome.
Do we need to like and sprinkle?
Share.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, hit the like button, hit the share button for the live. We'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, my eyes are itchy and dry and sticky today, so if I spend a lot of time rubbing them, I'm sorry. So if you guys are ready to start playing in paint, so am I.
Okay.
So this is the stencil that I'm using. This is the M2-3. It's called Flourish. Sandy, my girl, Sandy McTeer, loves this stencil, uses it quite often. I'm a fan as well, but there's a couple of things I will point out. It is a very delicate stencil. So you get little things like this, these little points. You got to be careful not to bend those. And the same with these little things here. As you can see, I've got one that is bent. Doesn't want to stay put, but that's okay. So we're going to use the Flourish, and then that's going to give us this sort of velvety brocade type pattern back here. And we're going to be working tone on tone, which means we're going to be using 2 values of green to get that background. And I'm a fan. I loved this. I was trying to decide what kind of a background to put on this piece, and I thought a nice rich green, and then I had another thought, well, I don't want to use something too traditional, but I don't want it to be too bright. I wanted it rich. So I decided on this color. This is Black Forest Green. And I'm going to position my stencil and tape it in place just to make sure it doesn't shift. It drives me nuts when it does that.
I might have to change something here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see if this helps. And boom. Hopefully this helps you guys.
What were they having trouble with?
Oh, I had it set to like 2.5K resolution.
Okay.
So it was taking up a lot of...
So
Some people's internet can't handle that kind of resolution.
that's a lot, yeah.
So I
So
brought it down.
we've got, I put 2 coats of Black Forest green on the background. It is a transparent green, so you might need a third, might. But I've got 2 coats on here. It seemed to cover quite well. Now, you're going to use holly green for the stenciling, which is this one here. It's a brighter green. It is very transparent, so it isn't going to look as bright as you think it's going to. So I'm using a stencil brush. And this is one of the reasons I tape this in place, is because there's a lot of little stuff. And we don't want all that little stuff to move around. So tape that stencil in place so that it doesn't shift, because you'll be killing yourself trying to get this on straight if you don't. And you're going to apply holly green to the whole thing. Now, you're not looking to get a fully opaque or even an even finish for this, because we kind of want those variations. We want it to be a little lighter in some places and a little darker in others. And it's very hard to tell whether or not you're getting color on this because of that green being so close to that other one.
I think the old man took the... Oops, sorry.
I love this color. This holly green over top of that Black Forest green. It's very rich. It's very pretty. So I know you're probably sitting there going, I don't see it changing much, but look at this. So we're already starting to see a little bit of that green, but it doesn't come screaming off of there. Love this. This is such a pretty finish. Doing a tone-on-tone background, they can be very subtle, but you can make them a bit more dramatic by applying other colors to it, but trying to stay in that same family. So you don't want to deviate too much when it comes to adding additional colors. One, if you're going to add a color, make sure that it is complementary to the one that you're working with. So in this case, I've got green, so I can go into the golds, I can go into some of the reds if I want to, because they're complementary to it. But try to find something that isn't too far away from the value, if you understand what I'm getting at. I don't like to drift too far away. So the gold works very well for this. And then for a highlight color, believe it or not, I chose peacock teal. It's a blue, but it also is closer to the greens. It works really nicely with holly green. And it looks scary when you see it in the bottle. It's really not once you're going to put it on your surface. So don't panic. So this stencil is actually, I like it. So that has a nice soft appearance. It's not too garish, not a high contrast. So this one right here, this corner lines up with that bottom portion like so. And you just maneuver it until it sits in place. And then you have the ability to overlap. And that's how you connect these stencils. So you can see there's a line. So it doesn't matter. No one is going to see it. Just try to blend it as close as you can. So this one here also ends over here. So when it comes time to do this little narrow strip, line this side up with this on this side and it will fill in perfectly. It's a fun one. I think Renee went to make himself a cup of coffee. I like this type of stenciled background. It works really nicely, especially when you're doing something that has so many colors in it. Like this piece has a lot of different colors in it, but they're very traditional. And then having this really, what I would generally call a busy background, and having it in that tone on tone, it's complementary. These colors are complementary to the reds and the golds that are in our piece. And then having that, what would ordinarily be a busy background back there, becomes less visually complicated. And it works. And this type of thing works well on a large variety of things. It works on, try this on mats for paintings or for painted artwork. You can do it on cardstock, and it's great for greeting cards and backgrounds and scrapbooking. And what are you chuckling about?
Oh, it just downpoured.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it rained.
Okay. Not much, though, obviously. Miss Soot's awake. So I'm just going to quickly finish this part up. Won't take very long. And then I'll show you how to finish out that edge and this bottom. Oops. A little too much paint in my brush that time around, but that's okay. Okay, so, and just check. Yes. So, remember what I said. You looked at that piece that's down at the bottom. Its mate is up here in the right-hand corner. So I can just line up that left-hand, not right-hand corner, left-hand corner. I don't know my left from my right today.
I got 2 questions.
Okay.
I have a hard time trying to figure out what design to use for backgrounds. Any tips?
Yes. If your design has got a lot going on in it, stay with something simple. And stay away from anything that is too busy or too close together. So if you're doing something that's got a lot of tiny little detail in it, lots going on, choose something larger for the background. So a larger diamond or a bigger check, something that's doesn't compete with the design. I tend to go with the simplest possible thing. This is one of the reasons that I default to things like polka dots or small checks, things like that, because they become inconsequential and just part of the overall background and doesn't compete with the design that you're putting on. And that's the biggest thing. If it looks busy and then you put a busier design on top of it, then the design ends up competing with the background, and it's hard to look at. It's hard to read.
And could you move your palette into the shot?
I can.
And Sheila Landry had one. I just got to go back and find it. You guys are talking too much.
Oops. Didn't quite line that up. There we go.
Where'd it go? I think it had something to do with using a larger stencil would be easier.
Yes, but generally larger stencils tend to have larger pattern. But you can use whatever works for you. I prefer the smaller stencils on smaller surfaces, especially when it's something like this that it is already designed so that it interlocks and works throughout, so it's easy to replicate and easy to reconnect it. So I can do this without having to work too hard.
Yeah, when I got YouTube and Facebook messages coming in here, I get bombarded pretty quick.
And I cannot, I usually have my iPad open here, but for whatever reason, the Facebook app keeps crashing.
It's because we're too awesome.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go with that.
Too awesome.
There we are. So now I just have one little bit down here in the corner to finish out. You notice it's always that left corner of the stencil works really well.
And what are the 2 greens are you using?
The 2 greens I'm using thus far, the background is Black Forest Green. And then the color that I'm stenciling with is Holly Green. Now, I had a message the other day. Someone asked me if there was a color they could use instead of Holly Green. Festive Green will work just fine too. So, we have our whole surface covered with that pattern. And now comes the fun part. So I'm just going to use my dirty stencil brush. You don't need to go get a clean stencil brush for this. So you're going to come back up to the top and realign your stencil. Just like so. And then we're going to take a little bit of this peacock teal. You don't need a ton of it, so don't overdo it on the palette. You just need a little bit. This is a little bit for me. And you're going to pick some of that up on your stencil brush. I'm just using the dirty stencil brush. It doesn't need to be clean. But the brush should be almost dry. Almost. And then, see that stem? I call it a stem. That space between. And just that little bit at the base of those leaves. I'm just adding a dry brush. But look what happens to your stenciling. See how it gets brighter in the middle? And I'm going to pick up a little more blue. I want to do this one more time because it wasn't quite bright enough. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. So that's where I like to put that. Sort of visualize where that stem would be. Right there. And it's not heavy-handed. You don't need to work hard to get this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. But just a little blush of that color in there.
Do all the M2 stencils interlock like this one?
When they are a continuous pattern like this one, yes. But most of the general patterns, they will all easily interlock that way.
And how big is the tag you're painting on?
This one is a 6x10. We have them on the website. We have quite a few of them.
We even have bigger ones.
Yeah.
Not too many of them, but I see 5.
The big ones? Yeah, those are almost all gone. I'm hoping, but I think...
Sheila. Or are they Sheila products?
No, they're not.
No.
They're from Country Bear, but Country Bear is on vacation right now.
Oh.
So I'm kind of hoping I can order some this week, some more. But the 6x10s I have lots of. I just got them in specifically because I was doing these. So I sat here last night and I doodled some more. I was finished base coating, so there we go. So you can see I've got a little bit of that peacock teal in the center of those leaves. And again, I'm just going to line up my stencil, a little bit of color.
The
Just like that.
website should be in the description.
Yep.
Should be.
So
If I did my job right.
yeah, you did.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It's tracymoreau.net is the website. So I like this little bit of peacock teal. It's surprising how much that little bit of color affects this. But there we go. I love that little bit of brightness in there. And then we're going to do this one more time. But we're going to do it with a little bit of the 24 karat gold. Did we get something for the puppers?
Yes, we did. Soup pots with $20 more for the puppers.
Aw, that's great. Today will be for the month of July. We'll get to add all of that up this week and see how much we're
Actually,
sending.
we should do that today since it's the
Yep,
the 30th.
it's the 30th, so we can send that off to our local shelter.
Give me 1 second. I think I can get that up for you.
So exciting.
Come on, phone. Thank you.
So, I took my stencil, repositioned it. This time I'm using a little bit of that 24 karat gold. And the brush, again, is going to be almost dry. And I like to just dust a little gold in a few places towards the ends of those leaves. In just a few places. You don't need to have it everywhere. And it's just a little dusting of gold. So, you see? I love this effect. I think it's so pretty. It just makes things with a little sparkle. Gotta have some sparkle. So, reposition that stencil. Make sure things line up the way they're supposed to. Tape it down. Not a lot of gold. You don't want a ton of it. So the brush is almost dry. And it's just a little dusting. And I find if you just do a little bit at the tips of some of those leaves.
Okay, just for July.
Pretty, pretty.
Geez, Sue. Your name pops up quite often here. And same with you, Jessica.
I love that we're able to do that. That we can set that up so that the puppers get something. A little bit of gold. And there is our background. I love how this looks. I just think it's very rich and very elegant and very festive, and it's very, very pretty. Which, by the way, it looks absolutely sensational in reds too. You take a nice dark red, like a cranberry wine, and then use a color like Tuscan red or Santa red.
What did I do? You know what you did, Jessica. You know what you did.
So this one translates very well. You can do this in a variety of colors. I like to choose, as in this case, that little bit of gold. It just gives it a little richness. That peacock teal just gives that green a nice a brightness. So it's a very pretty finish. Nice. So far for this month, we have what?
$147.78.
Nice. Our local shelter will be very happy. That's it's a couple of spays.
It's
It's a lot of cat food.
a lot of cat food. It's one big bag of dog food.
One very big bag of dog food.
But it's good dog food.
It's good dog food. So that is your background. So if you have any questions about that background, let me know.
That is 2 dog spays
Yeah.
or 3 cat spays.
Nice.
But it's also 6 dog neuters
Yeah.
and 14 cat neuters.
Nice.
So $150 goes a long way.
Yep. Does a lot. Little goes a long way. So the piece, this is driving me nuts that I can't see that chat. I can't see the chat. Maybe I can see it on YouTube. So this is our piece. Now, if you have the pattern, something that you might have noticed, I did put a step out in for these jewels on his crown because I just thought it might be a technique that you haven't done before, and that it might be something that you find useful.
You trying to even it out, Jessica?
She is.
All right, so that's
That's cute.
$167.
Nice.
$167.78.
So as you can see, I've got mine base coated. Obviously, I was half asleep when I did this. It's not the prettiest base coat I've ever done, let me tell you. So get rid of the icky palette. And then we'll get a clean one. Gotta have a clean palette.
A fresh palette.
So, I'm just looking at this base coat. Yeah, not the best. But
You're not happy with it?
I'm not happy with that base coat, but it's okay. So we're going to review what the base coat colors are. So for the face and the chin, the base coat color is Cotton Candy. For the cheeks and the nose and the lips, the color is Blush Pink. For the brim of the crown, the trim on the crown is Warm White. The crown itself is 24 karat gold. The jewels are turquoise blue. The eyes are the warm white and lamp black for the centers. The coat is tomato red. And I used cobblestone for the hair, the eyebrows, the mustache, and the beard. And I just realized it wasn't cobblestone that I picked up. That's not it either. Good gravy. I put color away and now I'm lost. Ah, there it is. The base color for the hair is cobblestone. I grabbed the wrong bottle.
So Andrea George just donated $30.
Oh my goodness. Let's make it 200 if we can. That's great, guys. Thank you. Awesome sauce.
Awesome. Thank you. The puppers appreciate it.
Yep. Our local shelter it has been awesome. But a lot of their resources right now are going into replacing the roof on their building. So we're just doing what we can to kind of help out. So, and they have a lot of puppers right now.
Do they?
Yeah.
Do I dare?
No, you don't.
I'm
Don't.
going to do it.
No. He's not allowed to because he'll want to bring more home. I'm not allowed to because I'll bring more home. Okay, so we have our base color down. What did I forget? Oh, I know what I forgot. The lettering at the top and the buttons on this coat are done with, this is one of Duckworth's new colors. It's Sunset Gold. I have fallen in love with this. Becca Buckner, $9.99. Awesome.
$10.
$10. That's great.
Shiba dog rolling on the floor, laughing out loud.
Yeah, have a question. Does the amount change due to you being in Canada? No, it doesn't. It is paid out to us in US dollars, and so we convert it on this end. So, Jessica Killer and
Oh no, it pops up for us as Canadian dollars.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So when they send it to us,
Gotcha.
we get $20 Canadian.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought it was.
So it does the conversion right.
Oh, it does it right off the bat. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Perfect. Perfect.
Unless they're from Canada, then we don't get the CA in front of it.
Yeah. There we go. So we are going to start. I'm not thrilled with his face. Of course, this is what happens when you paint till 11 o'clock at night. I'm going to. There's just a couple of areas here that I'm not thrilled with. I just want to clean up a little bit. Just not as opaque as they should be. Looks a little streaky. Just saying. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be better than that. For me, anyway. I'm not.
Oh. So currently, there is only one dog available.
Available. Yeah.
Ready for adoption. And they are a male. 1 year, 2 months.
Aww.
His name's Mickey.
I like him already. I like the name.
He is a American Staffordshire Terrier mix.
Oh, I bet he's beautiful. Don't show me that picture.
Oh, I'm gonna show you this picture because he's a squishy face.
But I want to bring him home.
And he is at the lanky teenager stage. Look at him.
Oh, what a sweetie.
He looks like a goofball.
Yeah, he does.
But most staffies are.
He looks like the goofball we have in the garage. Or I don't know, wherever she is with Dad. I don't know.
She's laying down in bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Mickey's description is says, "Look at me, I'm stinking cute."
One of our neighbors here has a staffy, and he is just the sweetest thing walking.
Who's got the staffy?
I think it's Staffy. Yeah, it's a Staffordshire Terrier.
Oh, three-legged one?
Yeah, the three-legged one. He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
love.
He is.
He's
Dot does not like him.
No, but he's a love.
Yeah, he's a squishy. Go get him. No. Do it, Renee. No.
Don't encourage him, for God's sake.
Can you show us, Renee?
Phone.
No.
Let's just put the picture under the...
I can do better than that.
Mm-hmm.
I could bring it up on here and show them. It's just gonna take me a minute.
That's the problem. Is just I want to bring them all home, and I avoid looking at the website because I want to bring them all home. Same with the kitties. I want to bring all the kitties home too,
Yeah.
but we have enough kitties. Okay, I feel better. I wasn't happy with that base coat. It was ugly. Wasn't pretty at all. So this is what happens
what
when
did I
you
do?
work late at night.
There we go. Where's the adopt button?
No, don't hit the
No,
adopt
you
button.
have to click the adopt button in order to get the images.
Don't do that. It's dangerous.
Any cats? There's always cats. Oh yeah, there's huge.
Yeah, there's lots of kitties.
Oh, Lolly. Lolly is a spayed female. She's super cute.
They're all super cute. This is the problem.
She's calico.
Even bigger problem.
And she's chimeric. But she's partial chimeric. She's got the line right down the face, but she has the same colored eyes.
Cool.
Cool.
So, now that I have fixed up the mess that I made,
There's Mickey. Hi, Mickey.
So
Mickey.
we're going to start with the crown on this one. And something I was talking to someone the other day, and they were trying to shade metallics, and they were having a very hard time doing it. Because the paint just wanted to bead up and roll off. So I'm going to show you a little trick. So this is matte medium. So anytime that you're having a hard time shading a metallic, this is what you do. You put a coat of matte medium over top of the metal. Part of the problem when it comes to shading a metallic is that because of the way it's made, it tends to be very slick and it won't grab color. So it essentially seals the surface. So I'm putting a coat of matte medium over top of all of the gold. Don't worry about it looking patchy, because by the time we're all done, it'll all be fine. And it doesn't matter if you get it on top of other stuff, because it's all matte anyway. So wherever the metallic is, I put a coat of matte medium.
There's Mickey.
Just like that. Uh-oh.
Look at Mickey. Look at him.
Terrible.
Hey, that's Mickey. Mickey needs a home. So anybody near the Fredericton area, go get Mickey.
Mickey needs a home. So I'm just going to quickly dry this matte medium. Having a jar of this stuff handy is always a good idea, because it serves a lot of purposes. Oh, isn't she cute? Yeah, he is at the teenager stage, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got the long, lanky legs.
Yeah. So I've got a coat of matte medium on my metallics. And I'm going to use my 3/8 angle. And my shading color for the metallic is asphaltum. For our purposes, this works very well.
Is it possible to use matte medium in place of primer?
Yes. Absolutely. So,
And matte medium is different from matte varnish.
yes, it is.
Yes.
So, you can take your asphaltum, and we're going to shade around the right side of our jewels.
There's a question.
Like so.
Patrick?
Hi, Patrick.
Oh, just somebody saying there's a question from Patrick. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Our granddoggers is from the shelter.
Best
He is
friend.
still decompressing and shy, but he is a love. I lose my voice when I'm around him. A lot of people lose their voices around cute dogs.
Yep.
Mine goes up like.
Everybody's goes up 4 octaves. Oh, poor baby. Yeah, I'm a suck when it comes to that.
But I'm also a behavioralist, so.
So we're going to use that asphaltum to shade underneath the ball at the top of the crown. Like so. And we're going to do this in 2 stages, because we're not going to get it all done in one go.
Jeez.
So
Getting lots of questions today.
how would you proceed for the base coating? All the surface of the face, then the other small things? Yes, Patrick. It drives you nuts trying to paint in and around things. I hate tracing anything on. Absolutely hate it. It's probably the one thing that I really dislike doing. So I have a tendency to paint my face first and then paint all of the little details. It's never a bad idea. Keep your line drawing taped to your surface. Flop it over. Base coat the big areas like the face. Paint the whole thing that one color. Make sure it's nice and even. Flip your line drawing back down and then trace on all of the details. And then paint all of the details individually. I prefer that because then you get a nice seamless finish. But I'm lazy and really hate doing I hate tracing and retracing. So I have a tendency to do it the other way. But ideally, that would be the way to do it. So I'm going to put a float along the top of that trim on the gold. It's just a little float of asphaltum.
Oh, Deb says, good morning. I'm caffeinated.
Yay! Caffeinated is a good thing.
Hey, Deb, you missed it. We are currently sitting at... damn. Needs my face. Currently sitting at $197.78 going to the SPCA.
Nice. That makes me happy.
Question, how many coats are you using for the gold to get so solid coverage? Such solid coverage.
There's two metallics in the deckwort line that I use the most frequently. One is this one. This is the deckwort media fluid acrylic metallic gold. This one covers beautifully, usually 1-2 coats at the absolute most. This is a fantastic one. The 24 karat gold, which is in the extreme sheen line, is generally 2 to 3 coats.
Oh, wait, I didn't add that. Last $9.99.
Oh, so we're over the 2.
Yeah.
Yay! That's awesome sauce. The shelter will be happy. So I am shading up against the jewel, the trim of the jewel, with a float of asphaltum from top to bottom, with a float of asphaltum. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want a nice little shadow in there. And we want that separation, that little ball that's on the top of the crown. We want that separation as well. And then we're going to shade in from the edge on that little ball. Just leave a sliver of gold showing. We're going to put a C-stroke float like so.
And Jessica just sent the purple cat.
And $1.49.
$1.49 from Jessica.
That's awesome.
Oh, I know why she did that.
To balance it out.
No, she didn't. Because we're currently at $209.26.
Oh, nice. So, to highlight that crown.
And the yellow dog.
And a yellow dog. You're too funny, Jessica. She's just playing now.
Yeah. So, and, jeez.
So, we're going to float a highlight onto that metallic gold with a little bit of warm white. And mine is a little too strong. I've got too much color in my brush here. There we go.
She's having...
Okay, that's better. So, we're going to put a little highlight on the crown, and those beads at the top get a float the opposite side. And again, I come in just slightly inside that edge, just leaving a sliver of the gold showing.
Oh my God.
Little highlight.
There you go.
Nice.
$220.75 for the puppers. You guys are doing awesome.
Our Molly-Ann, our local shelter is undergoing some renovations, and so a lot of the animals are being housed at some of the other shelters in the area. So we don't have a lot right now, but
the way our system works is every SPCA from different villages to cities and towns have their own website for their area. However, if one of them goes down, the closest town next to it will pick up the slack.
yeah.
So
and with ours undergoing some renovations, some much needed renovations.
I bet if I go to the Oromocto SPCA,
Yeah, probably
be
busier.
a bit bigger list.
Yeah. So for a final highlight on that crown, we're going to put a dot of white upper left. Like so. So there we have a nice metallic sheen and a little bit of gloss on our crown. It does need a little stroke here. I'm going to little stroke down there. And I just come in slightly from the edge of that float that we put on. So we got a nice little light impact point. And now we're going to talk about these jewels. So they're mounted. They've got a gold ring on there that I base coated with the sunset gold. And we're going to use a little bit of orange flame.
So it is a very good sign for our area.
Yeah.
Currently the Oromocto SPCA, which is the closest town to us.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Crystal Hendricks. $5.
Nice.
Awesome. The Oromocto area has only got 6 cats.
Wow, that's nice.
So,
Yep.
it's looking good.
Okay. So that yellow, the ring around our jewels, is going to get a float of orange flame. Like so. That's a little shading. And then on the opposite side, we're going to put just a little float of warm white, and it's a thin one. We're not going to go overboard. It's just enough to change the value of that yellow a little bit. And I kind of want that to have a little metallic feel too. So it's just a small little float.
Okay, so the St. John SPCA has Bronx, Lola, Luna, Zeke, and Diesel. They're all shepherd crosses.
Yeah. Okay. So, the final highlight on that metal ring is just a fine line of warm white. And now we're going to talk about the technique for doing a gemstone. Now, these are a domed gem, meaning that they've got a curved top. And because it's a gemstone, light passes through it. So it's going to change how the light reflects. So it's not just a shiny surface, but it's a domed surface. So I'm going to grab my shading color, if I can find it.
How do I put a specific amount in the donation? I don't know. I honestly, I've never done it.
Okay. So I'm using navy blue to shade this. So we're going to shade these jewels. Now, in the pattern, there's a nice little step out. Shows you how these jewels are done. So the first step is to put your base down. And the base needs to be fairly opaque. So make sure you get a good coat down. And we're going to shade the lower right side, or the lower right half of the jewel with that navy blue. So I'm going to blend this out really well. And we're going to start at the bottom of the jewel. And we're going to pull that float around until we meet the top of the jewel. So you get a nice deep shadow on one side.
I think I can zoom in for you guys. Careful, Soot. There we go. As long as she doesn't move it out of frame, we're good. Oh, jeez. $13.99. $14 from Louise Long.
Thank you, Louise.
I still got to add in that $5.
Wow.
Plus 5. Plus 13.
Anybody near Jessica, bring her soup. Yes, Jessica has COVID.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, at least you get to watch this. You can't do anything else. If you can paint, paint. But that sucks.
Yeah. So I've got fairly nice float in there. I wanted to deepen this one because it wasn't quite dark enough to suit me. Usually a couple will do the trick. You just want a nice change in value from one side to the other. So we've got a pretty nice shadow going. I'm pretty pleased with that.
So thank you, Louise Long, for your donation. It
froze. Okay. No,
just on that end.
Yeah, on my end.
Yeah, it's a lot of internet being used right now. So.
Yeah. So I'm going to dry this. Now we're going to put a highlight. I'm going to use a little bit of that peacock teal. Jessica, I bought lobsters the other night. Didn't get to eat them. Oh my gosh.
Fresh lobsters? What?
The lobster is just ridiculously expensive right now. Karen, our COVID scare is over here. Karen Jones had theirs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think we got lucky.
We've been very lucky so far.
Jessica Killer and I made a big pot of tomato soup last night. Sorry, you're too far away for delivery.
So, for the next part of this, when it comes to a jewel, because it's domed, the light is going to pass through the dome. So we need to have a highlight on both sides. The one on the right, which is the furthest away from the light source, is going to be the one that's less bright. And the one on this side, because this is where the light is impacting, is going to be a little bit brighter. So we're going to do our highlight with a little bit of peacock teal. If I can get it out of the bloody bottle. I have had issues this week. Oh my goodness, Carrie, I hope everybody's feeling better soon. So, I'm using, this is a point blender, or not a point blender, sorry, a dome blender. It's a small one. This is from the Decorator series from Dynasty, but any dome blender will work just fine for this. So your brush needs to be almost dry. You're going to have paint in it, but it should be almost dry. And I think I have the wrong base color on there. That doesn't look right. It doesn't matter. Well, it does matter because I'm using the wrong color to highlight with. Okay, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of warm white with my peacock teal because it's... So, you're going to start by putting your highlight, and it's a dry brush, a half circle highlight. So it's going to go on the surface like so, in a half circle. So you get this highlight. And I'm not taking it right to the edge. I'm coming in just a little. Just like that. So it's a C shape, and it follows the shape, but in from the edge just slightly. So there is our first highlight. Then you're going to literally come around to the other side, and you're going to put another highlight in from the edge over top of that dark blue. and it's slightly softer than the first one, like so. So that helps create that reflection on the back side of the jewel. So once you let that one dry, you have to brighten your light impact, which means you're going to come back to where you started the first time, and that C is going to get a little smaller. And you're going to pay a little more attention to where the light strikes, which is on that upper left side. So there's a little spot there that's going to get a little bit brighter. You can see it's starting to pop there. And you need to take your time with this one. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you need to take your time with it so that you get that nice soft look, so that you get a soft diffusion of color. Oops, too much. I put too much paint. It didn't blend well enough. There we go. So I have a nice little light glow coming on there. And then finally, you're going to take a little bit of your warm white, and in the center upper left of that dot, you're going to put a small dot of white. And that gives you that nice domed appearance. So let's do the other small ones. I have to continue with my teal color here. So a C shape, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just in from the edge. You don't want to take it right to the edge. And then you're going to repeat that on this side. And there is my light impact. So that little step out is actually very handy. Gives you a nice, shows you where to place it. And then it's almost like a yin and yang. So you've got the lighter here and the lighter there going in two directions. So it's kind of like a Pisces symbol. I was trying to think of a good explanation for that the other day. I'm going to grab my little rigger and we'll put our highlight on. I do like that little light impact point, makes a world of difference. And we have jewels. So we're going to come down to the face next. And this part is actually really simple because we're using a little bit of thin dash Faltum to shade our face. And I prefer to get this shading done now so that you're not trying to go back in and work around a bunch of little hairs and whatnot. So we're going to use a little bit of thin dash Faltum. We're going to put a float underneath the brim of the crown. And because we have just the base color in for the eyebrows and whatnot, you don't have to worry too much. And under the hair, I want a nice even float. And on the underside of the jawline and up against the mustache and the beard. Just like so. And don't forget, you're going to do the chin too. It's a nice little dark float at the bottom of the chin. Underneath there. There, I think I'm happy with that. We can come back and deepen these floats too once we put on all of the other details. Now those eyes, we're going to use that turquoise blue. We'll use a little bit of that turquoise blue to shade the eyeballs.
Did it freeze?
Yeah, I told you that.
When did it freeze?
Yours isn't frozen, mine is.
Oh.
So I'm just going to thin out a little bit of that turquoise blue. And the whites of the eyes are going to get a shadow. Like so. On the right side, darkest value towards the right. So there we go. And we're going to highlight those eyes with a little bit of that warm white. It is not full strength, so you are going to blend that out quite well. And I'm going to come in from the edge just slightly. Yeah, and I kind of want a domed appearance, so there we go. Nice little highlight, brightest value to the left. And then a final highlight on those eyes, again, is a small dot of that warm white. And again, just like all of those other things, it's going to be on that upper left side. Just a little light impact point. Super easy.
What brush are you using?
Right now I'm just using a zero rigger. And I'm just fixing a spot here because it just... I swear I was half asleep when I base coated this thing. Which is entirely possible. So our little nutcracker is surprisingly coming together quite quickly. So we have the cheeks to do and the nose. And these two things are pretty straightforward. I'm putting a little bit of tomato red. We're not using a lot of it, so I'm just using a tiny touch. Where's my... And we're going to float in just a touch of country red or tomato red. I'm blending this out quite well because I do not want this color full strength. I want it quite transparent. And we're going to put a float of this color at the top of the cheeks. So it's just going to create like a little blush of color at the top of the cheek. I don't quite have enough color in my brush here. There we go. That's better. We want a blush of color at the top of the cheek. On both cheeks. And you take it right to the edge. like so. What did I miss?
Little off subject, but I just Googled Day of the Dead Nutcracker. There's several. What can you use if you don't have blush pink?
Blush pink, vintage pink will work.
There you go.
Yep. So on the nose, you're going to float on either side of that elongated piece in the center of the nose. With the darkest value towards the center of the nose, like so.
Do you have a shape maker available?
Yes, I have shape makers.
No, like in front of you.
Not in front of me, no.
No, somebody asked, how do you get your eyes so round?
Oh, I use a shape maker. I can pull one of those up. Shape makers are a series of templates. Just a second. I'll pull up my shape maker. Here we go. Okay, so this is a shape maker. It's a series of templates that I use. So, and they come in a set of 3. Move that so you can see what they are. They come in a set of 3. So there's one that is just squares in a variety of sizes. And you would think, who needs a whole bunch of stencils with a bunch of little squares on it? And then we have this one, which has a variety of things, triangles and whatnot, which is handy as well. And then for eyes, when I'm tracing and transferring things, I use this. It's sort of a sliding reference. So when I'm tracing something on, I will find the template that fits the surface, and that's what I use to trace, so that I get a nice, clean, round circle. Drives me absolutely nuts when you're trying to paint something round that is not perfectly round. It never comes out round. It comes out egg-shaped or a little wonky, but it's never round. So I like using a shape maker like this because I can pick and choose and find the circle that's the right size for what I'm trying to trace. And then I get nice, accurate tracings. And that's what I use. And these ones are a set of 3. They come in really handy with these little hexagons, or not hexagons. What are those? 6 sides? Hexagon. Okay, I did get it right.
Hexagon.
You know, hexagons, squares, circles, in these little tiny sizes. Very handy. I like the checks, being able to do this with the large squares. That's very handy. And then with the circles. I chose those shapes because those seem to pop up the most frequently when you're doing design work or tracing patterns on. So that is what I use. It's a shape maker.
She cheats.
I cheat. It's no different than using a ruler.
Nope.
So I have my shading on. I put that rose, that little blush in the cheeks and that blush in the nose. So I rinse my brush and I'm going to put a little highlight on the bridge of the nose with a little bit of warm white right there. And it's a simple float, nothing dramatic. And then take out your 10-aught rigger or your 10-aught liner, whatever you're most comfortable with. And you're just going to put a fine line down the center of the nose for a final light impact. And again, like every other element, top left side, I'm going to put a highlight on the cheeks. Now, because the cheeks are a little bit bigger, I want a slightly bigger dot, so I'm going to use the end of my brush handle to do that.
It's not cheating, it's making painting life easier.
Yep.
It's not cheating, it's another tool.
That's right.
Like slip leads.
Big slip leads.
It's not cheating. I swear it's not cheating.
So, we have the nose done. And this is not a difficult piece to paint. It's because it's just blocks of color, all we're doing is just adding a little bit of depth with some shading. So it's not a difficult piece to paint. But we are going to come down here to his mouth, and we're going to use, I'm going to switch to my Micron liner, if I can find it. There it is. And I'm going to thin out a little bit of asphaltum. I want this very thin so that I can get a really fine line. And we're going to
This is moving quick.
stroke in some teeth.
Is that what's hanging from his shoulders?
No. So he's got teeth now. I'm going to try that. And then we're going to add a shadow to his teeth under his mustache with the same color we shaded the eyes with, which is a little bit of that turquoise blue.
Give him vampire fangs.
There's a thought.
His name is Vlad
Vlad.
the Nutcracker.
Vlad the Nutcracker. Ew. Oops. So now he's got teeth.
Some buck teeth.
He's got buck teeth, yeah.
When are we gonna get Halloween, Miss Tracy?
Soon.
Should trademark soon.
I should trademark soon. Soon we're going to be doing Halloween.
Zombie Nutcracker.
Don't tempt me.
It could happen.
It could happen. So membership group got their challenge this week.
Oh, yeah?
Sent them out a tutorial on how to draw butterflies. So I'm anxious to see the results of some of those.
Who's doing a zombie butterfly? I think it'd be hilarious. I got a zombie bunny.
Yeah, he's got a zombie bunny. So, for the beard and the mustache, we're going to use a rake. I'm using a 1/4 inch black gold rake for this. And this part is super simple. So it's the hair, the eyebrows, the mustache, and the beard are all getting this treatment with this rake. So I'm going to soak mine in some Joe Sonia's, and I'm going to load this puppy up really well because this is going to take a bit.
How I know Jessica Killeran is on the East Coast.
And how is that?
She said blue slush puppy.
Yep.
Because everywhere else they call it a Slurpee.
So, for all of that hair, good grief. I'm just, here. So, I've got my rake full of paint, and I'm going to open it up so that it's got some tooth. And we're going to just pull a bunch of fine lines onto this hair, just like that.
Bob is nearby. He's never too far.
Bob is never far away.
He's never far.
There's Bob. So I really like that this rake does that first layer really, really fine. Just like so.
You see? JL. No Slurpees.
It's because GL's from out west.
Yeah, she's Alberta.
She's in Calgary. JL started something during the membership live class the other night.
Oh.
Yeah, the dibs thing.
Oh, the dibs, yes.
It was very funny. So, it's all her fault.
Don't worry, dibs doesn't work here.
Yeah, it doesn't work here.
It's only for the members live.
Yeah.
And you have to call it at a very particular time.
It was pretty funny.
And JL nailed it. So.
Yeah. Well, of course she nailed it. She started the whole thing.
Yep.
So it's either her fault or you know, her credit. One of the two. I'm not sure which.
Her fault, her credit. Fault and credit are pretty much the same thing.
So I'm just pulling some nice vertical lines into this beard with the rake. I'm really not worrying about whether or not it's perfect. I just want to create some texture. And this is essentially just the start. So
I thought we did oleander tea already.
I did that as a live class, as a Zoom class.
Oh.
Or maybe we did do oleander tea. I don't know.
I can't remember. I'd have to go through the YouTube content.
Yep.
Let me take a look.
So I only need a couple of coats. I'm not going to putz with this too much because we're going to do a little extra with a liner to fill things in nicely. I got my favorite watch strap out today.
It's got skulls on it.
It's got skulls on it. I love it. See, I have a sugar skull watch strap for my Apple Watch. Ah, come on. There we go. So the fun part about using this rake for this is that you can get lots of fine lines. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I'm getting a lot of thick lines, which I didn't necessarily want, but I can fix that. That's not a big deal.
Slush Puppy's a little different than a Slurpee. Just a little bit. Slush Puppy is shaved ice with squirts on top.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can get them from a machine
Yeah.
done up. So it's pretty much a Slurpee.
Yeah.
The Slurpee is just frozen beverage or semi-frozen beverage.
So I'm going to then, and this one gets a little tight.
Okay.
I'm going to use that rake to stroke in those eyebrows. Finely crushed ice with flavoring, but still a drink, not a snow cone. No, it's not a snow cone. No, we have not done oleander tea. Yeah, Judy Thacker, it was a Zoom class. Yeah.
Title contains tea.
I don't think we have done oleander tea.
We've only done 2.
I don't do a lot of
yeah.
Halloween stuff, so...
We've done Sweet Tea and Honey Zoom class.
Yep.
Which is still available for those who took it.
Oleander tea was with SDP, that's why. We don't have it on the YouTube channel.
Yes. So are we able to
Yeah,
do oleander tea?
yeah.
Cool.
It's been over a year.
Yeah. And we did Christmas tea as a Saturday class.
Yeah. So obviously, somebody would like me to do oleander tea.
That was Linda Safranco. Still, snow cones are good. Yeah, I like snow cones.
Jessica. Well, it's a good idea. I haven't taught it, so yeah, it'd be fun. So I've got a couple or 3 or a dozen layers of little fine hairs in there. And so I'm going to rinse out my rake. He's actually coming together quite nicely.
A lot of people have been waiting for
Halloween.
Halloween and oleander tea.
Well, I'd be happy to do it. So I'm going to take my liner brush and I'm going to stroke in some stronger white highlights. You can do that with a little bit of titanium white if you like. I'm just using a little bit of warm white. I just want some brighter, perhaps heavier lines in here. And I'm focusing more towards the center portion of the hair. Right here. And you'll see why in just a second. So I just wanted a few little brighter highlights in there. I'm going to do the same thing in the beard. What I love about doing the beard this way is that now I can come to the edge of the beard and I can add a few little strokes that go out, giving the beard more of a fuzzy look.
Somebody from Facebook is wondering if you've done a teapot with sweet peas.
Not yet. It's on my drawing table. It's actually
It's coming.
It's coming.
And they're talking about the voodoo teddy bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That one needs to be redone.
Needs to be redone,
And I have to put a trigger warning on it. Because a lot of people got really upset with me when I did that one.
Wait, we got a new member? When?
When?
It says new members 1. When did that happen? Who
Who
joined?
did we miss?
Did we miss somebody's membership?
Barbara Ferguson joined us the other day.
But it says new members during the live. Who joined? Who was
I
it?
can't see it. I don't see it
There's Louise
anywhere.
Long.
Oh, well.
Oh, there's all the donations. What did we miss? Who was it? It's not popping up. Okay. I'm confused.
We'll have a look. So my membership group did their class the other night. And the pieces are starting to pop up. They're very pretty. I'm really impressed. It's one of my favorites so far. I really like the one that we just did, which was the lavender honey. So that one goes up, and then the new one for the membership is up and available, because I'm ahead of the game for a change. So I'm just stroking in a few little details. I like to put these in. I like those little strays that come off of beards and mustache. And I like a little twirl at the end of that mustache. Just makes him look a little more distinguished. And these little extra highlights go a long way to giving more texture to this beard and the mustache. And he's just fun.
What's the yikes for? Yikes, keep your puppers safe, Tracy C?
Oh, Tracy Craig.
What happened to Tracy Craig's puppers? I have the wrong mouse in my hand.
Okay, so I'm almost there. I'm going to add a highlight just a little more to the eyebrows here. I don't want them to look bushy, but I don't want them to look flat either. So, and after we shade all of this, we're going to add a little bit more because I like it that way.
Oh, she has oleander bushes.
Ooh, yes, oleander is very poisonous.
Yeah.
It produces a very pretty flower and a lovely scent, but
Yeah.
it's poisonous.
Keep the
So
puppers away from them.
Gotta keep. Well, the fruit and the wood has a very bitter flavor. So he's coming together, I think. I'm rather happy with him so far. So we're going to start shading his hair. And we're going to do that with a little bit of asphaltum. And I like the depth that this creates. So there is a little space back here. And we're going to create it by putting a float like this to separate the hair at the front from the hair at the back.
I bought the voodoo teddy bear. I'm excited about doing that one too, but it's an old pattern.
Yes, it needs to be redone.
Yeah, nothing like Tracy's new patterns.
No, I've made a lot of changes to how I do patterns. since that one was written. I'd have to repaint it because it's done differently. It's got a different technique.
Oh, yeah?
So, and some of the materials, I don't know. I'd have to have a look at it. But it's one of those ones I've always wanted to redo anyway. Because I think it's got some fun techniques in it. But it needs to be updated because the color palette is dated and it just needs to be updated. Needs more step bites, Just needs to be fixed up a little bit. So that little shadow in there gives the head and the hair a little bit more dimension. And then while we're floating, we're going to add some shadows in a few places.
Which is it?
What?
Oleander tea or voodoo teddy bear?
It'll be oleander tea first because I have to redo the other one.
Okay.
And I don't know when I'll get to that, to be honest. So, a float of asphaltum up at the top here where it joins there. And you're going to do the same thing on this side. And walk it down a little bit. And then behind the shoulder, we're going to separate that. Little float. Little float. So now you understand why we wanted that brighter highlights toward the center. It just gives a little more dimension to the hair once we put those shadows in. And we're going to come down here and shade the bottom of the mustache. Like so. And the outside corners of the eyebrows, get that as well. Little float there.
Patrick is our resident Frenchman.
Mm-hmm.
He is from France.
France. Well, actually, you're our resident Frenchman.
No, I'm not. Can't speak French. I can speak bad French.
That's true.
I know how to curse in French.
I speak bad French, too. I speak better German. That's pretty bad. I'm married to a Frenchman for well over 30 years, and I speak bad French.
You speak bad French. It's more shack than anything.
Yeah.
I have the French accent every once in a while.
Yeah.
When I do speak French, I have the accent.
Yeah. No, you have a French Canadian accent.
I have a French Canadian accent. That is right. How do you keep your jar of glazing medium clean without rinsing your brush first?
I rinse my brush constantly.
Yeah.
It still gets mucky, but I'll tell you a secret. All the sludge settles to the bottom. So as long as you don't ship it, because you're only touching the top, but everything that comes off the brush sinks to the bottom. So we have our shading in place. I like how this looks with the shadows towards the outside edge of the eyebrows. And I'm going to, now that I've got those shadows in, I want to...
Voodoo teddy?
Voodoo teddy bear.
Big question marks from that one. Yes, she has a pattern.
For a voodoo teddy bear.
For a voodoo teddy bear. And it caused a lot of kerfuffle.
Yeah, you could say that.
And I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I got a lot of flack for painting a voodoo teddy bear. But yet, nobody says a word about the voodoo bunny.
My puppy's new activity this week is walking on her hind legs for a minute or two. And only when she is on area rug. So cute. Check her front pads.
Oh. Yeah. Just to make sure there's nothing wrong.
I don't know the whole situation, but if she's doing that on her own for no reason, checker front pads. There might be a small cut or
Yeah.
a rock stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
But it could also be, I'm just having fun.
Yeah. Well, and it's been so hot
Yeah.
that usually we have people walking by here in the morning and in the evening, and people have been walking really late at night when they take the dogs out now because it's the only time that the pavement is cool enough to walk on.
Yeah. Have you seen Dot's front pads lately?
No?
They're like rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're just so calloused, and they're smooth.
Yeah, but they're calloused.
But they are tough.
Yeah.
Like, she could walk on glass.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
No.
But her hind...
Yeah, they're soft.
They are very soft and delicate and sensitive, apparently.
She doesn't like it when you tickle her feet. So I'm just adding a few little strokes of white just to pop some of these highlights a little. Kind of like the idea of them being a little bit brighter. Just gives more texture, that's all.
Oh, okay. So the vet did check her front paws out.
Yeah.
Checked all her feet.
Good.
Then it's just a quirk of the dog.
She's being quirky.
She's being quirky.
So, there, we have beard and hair.
I saw some balm for pads. Is it a good idea or gimmick? Depending on the brand.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a gimmick. I'll say, what is it called? Got a tub of it upstairs.
Bag balm.
Musher's Secret.
Musher's Secret, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I have a jar of Musher's Secret for Dot. And works great. Especially if they have little cuts and
Yeah.
scrapes.
Seals things nicely, helps the skin heal.
And it's great for winter.
And I'll tell you something. There's a product called Bag Balm.
Yes.
Most farmers use it. And it's made by the same company that makes her mane and tail shampoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's used for the nose on horses. It's also used on the udder for cattle and things like that.
For feedbacks.
Yep.
It prevents
Exactly. It
chafing on the
prevents
nose.
chafing, but it also prevents, cracking and callousing and dry skin. And for humans, you can use it on your feet and your hands. It's fabulous.
Yeah. Can you use that on dogs' paws too?
Yep.
Because it's all natural too.
It's all natural and it's non-toxic and it has no flavorings added
Boom.
to it. It's nice and clean. It's good stuff.
Yep.
I love the mane and tail shampoo. When I was a kid, that's what we used.
Bag balm is amazing, wonderful for healing cuts and things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's great stuff. There was a version a number of years ago that contained lanolin, and I'm violently allergic to lanolin, so I can't use that one. But they have one now that is just with glycerin and beeswax.
Yep.
And it's fabulous. And it works just as well, but I cannot have the lanolin. Sheila, what brush are you talking about, honey?
What?
She says, I'm not sure what line, it doesn't say on my brush.
Are you on Facebook?
No, I'm on YouTube.
No.
Oh, what brand is your dome blender? The one I'm using is a Dynasty. You can get them from the Brush Guys. It's part of the Decorator series. Can't find mine now. If you find it in the Faux Squirrel line, it's called a single blender. But it's just a nice little dome blender. They're very handy. They're a little softer than usual. Some are more stiff, like for fabric painting, but I prefer the softer ones. It's easier to control. So we have come to the shoulders and the coat. So to get started on the coat, we're going to do this. We're going to shade using that same color that we used for the jewels, to shade the jewels. So I'm going to pull a little bit of that navy blue.
Boom.
I love navy blue. Bag balm. Yep. Antiseptic ointment. It's good stuff.
It still comes in the original tin.
Yeah.
Like it even claims like been using the same packaging since 1899.
Yeah. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's
Still one of the number one recommended veterinary treatments for all pets,
Yep.
all animals, and all farm animals.
Yep. It's the best stuff going. Bag balm. So I'm just shading on the red underneath that shoulder cap there, or epaulette it should be.
Oh, yeah, this is the original stuff with lanolin.
Yeah, I can't use that one. They do have a version with
No lanolin?
no lanolin that I can use. But yeah, I can't use the lanolin one. So, nice little float underneath that shoulder epaulette with that navy blue. Neatness doesn't count for this one. Doesn't have to be a pretty float because you're going to paint right over it anyway. But around the sleeves, like so. Underneath the beard, around the buttons. Don't forget to get around those buttons. And voila. So I made a boo-boo when I painted the first one. I put the highlight is supposed to be on this upper left, and on the left arm I put it on the right side. So ignore my image. Of course, I was having a great time. Look, I bloody well almost did it again. So shade the arms. Comes
Karen Marburg. Any suggestions for increasing sleep time for a 15-week-old schnauzer?
Wear them out.
There's getting up at 4 a.m. and then falls asleep at 7. So you only got him up for a couple of hours. Probably has to pee. But wear him out.
Yeah.
Walk him.
Get them out in the yard. Throw a ball around.
If you have to stay up till midnight walking them, you get them to sleep past 4 a.m.
So this is your shading. That navy blue goes on the right side of the arms. Not like I did on the first one when I put it on the left. Goes on the right. And then the navy blue goes underneath the chin, behind the beard, around the buttons.
He's super
Like
sneaky.
so. He's trying to be. He needs more sneak in his sneaky.
My dog's licking her and chews her paws. Okay, licking and chewing her paws, and it's driving me crazy. She's probably allergic to something. Take her to the vet, get an allergy test. Because it could be chicken, it could be turkey, it could be beef, it could be pork.
Oh, poor puppers.
So
Yeah, and it's usually something if they have tummy issues too that can do that.
yeah. So and check her pads.
Yep.
It could be there's something stuck between her toes and she's trying to get it out. But that's usually the first thing I recommend is getting an allergy test, especially if it's excessive licking of the paws.
Yeah.
Not licks her paws, but it's usually just
Grooming.
Grooming.
Yeah.
But if she's constantly licking her paws,
Yeah.
there's something wrong going.
Yeah. So now we're going to come back to that dry brush. Now you can use a Mezzaluna for this, or you can use that Dome blender. My Dome blender's wet, so I'm going to grab my point blender. So I've got a point blender here, and we're going to put a nice little highlight on our coat. And I'm going to do that with a little bit of that orange flame. it's not going to be a dramatic difference. So on the highlight side of that, we're going to put a dry brush of that orange flame. And you can pull it about halfway. It can come about halfway. And then you're going to do the same thing with a little bit of that sunset gold. You don't need a lot. Again, you're only going to use a small amount of that color, and the brush should be almost dry.
Oh. It's definitely not her pads. Okay, they walk a trail that has a lot of foxtails. So she checks her pads frequently.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, I would...
Yeah, maybe it's an allergy or something.
Yeah, go get checked out for allergies. Go get an allergy test.
So I'm just putting a dry brush. And look how that pops. So you can do the same thing in and around the buttons on the coat, in between the shading. It's just a dry brush, like so. It's not a fancy one. It's just something in between that space. And then if you want to brighten the highlight on the sleeves, you can do that with a little touch of warm white. And just a touch. Don't want a ton of color on it. But there's your final little highlight on the sleeve right there. And it's just a simple little one. Nothing major.
Can I help her with her membership issue?
What's your member? Who is it?
It's Don Lavelle.
I don't know if we can or not.
I don't think we can, Don. According to this...
According to ours, you're still an active member.
I'm just getting the member list here.
And I can't see what her email address is on the membership, so... So, there we go. Put that little dry brush. There's your highlight on your coat. It's a super simple one. It's not a lot in there. Now, those buttons... I'm looking at mine. I'm not thrilled with that base coat. That yellow is not nice. So I'm going to quickly put another coat of the sunset gold on those buttons because they are just not giving me those warm fuzzies. This is what you get for base coating at 11 o'clock at night.
Deb. What should we put in alphabetical order?
Yeah, it doesn't though. Well, the last time we looked.
Don Lavelle.
Yep.
14 months.
Yep. So I need to fix one of these buttons because it's not round. There we go. Okay, I'm feeling a bit better about the buttons. So I'm going to dry that. And we're going to put a nice little shading on our buttons with a little bit of orange flame. Now, I like the orange flame for this because it actually becomes quite nicely transparent. So our little buttons are going to get a float of orange flame to shade them. Didn't quite have enough color in my brush here. There we go. So there is our orange flame. And then we're going to add a little highlight with a little bit of warm white. Just a little float on the upper left of the button. And then a final light impact with a little stroke or a dot of warm white, like so. So now we have buttons. And we're going to dry this.
Yeah, I think that's what Dawn's going to have to do.
What's that?
She's going to have to go to her channel, go to her memberships, click cancel, or I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to cancel it and re-up if you want.
Yep.
But I have no access to...
Yeah, we don't have access to any of those things.
But it does say you're a member.
If it says you're a member, but you have no access to any of the membership perks, if you can't get into the videos and whatnot, then there's really only one or two things that could possibly be wrong.
Renee, if Dawn cancels her and starts it again, she should still have her palette.
Yeah, she should still have her palette. All of those things will still be there.
Yeah.
Has Dawn got a palette today?
No.
Then it
doesn't even say she's a member in the chat.
I know, but that's just it. It tells me that whatever she's logged in as is not the one that she logged in with her membership.
Yeah.
If it's not recognizing it, she can't access anything, then it's not recognizing it.
This is a different icon. Can I go to this person's channel? No.
Mm. Okay.
Can I do it over here? Aha.
So, our next thing is to finish these caps on the sleeves. So we're going to, remember we coated that metallic with a little bit of matte medium so that we could float over easily. So we're going to float right along the bottom here with a little asphaltum. Now I did this next part with warm white. However, you don't have to. You could use the yellow if you wanted to, but I went with the warm white because I kind of wanted them to stand out a little bit. And I wanted to balance with this white brim. And that's what this little tassel, little series of tassels at the top of the shoulder do, is by using the white here and here it balanced it. So I've got my shadow in. So let's put a highlight on our metallic. We're going to do that with a little bit of warm white, just like we did on the crown. It's just a little, oh goodness.
YouTube needs a customer service. They have customer service.
Well.
Ish.
They do, but unfortunately it's just not an easy system to navigate.
Yeah.
That's.
Now, if you're a content creator, it's a different story.
Yeah.
You have tons of customer service.
Yeah.
But if you're just a
sadly,
consumer,
as a content creator, we have no access whatsoever to any of your information. Mm. So we can't, we can't help you with certain things as much as we might want to. So I've got a highlight in there with a little bit of that warm white. I better dry that, otherwise this highlight's not going to work. And then I'm going to use either a liner or a rigger or small round. You're going to put a little stroke of warm white for a final highlight, just like that. And now comes the fun part. So we're going to do all these tassels here. This is how I did those little circles that are there. I'm using the end of my brush. Obviously not that brush because that's not big enough. There we go. Okay. So all those circles are just getting a dip dot with the end of my brush.
My Google email and my YouTube email are different. I wonder if that affects it. Yes, it
It
does.
does.
Big time.
Yeah. Depends entirely on which one you registered with.
Yeah. Yeah, because JL, don't you have a palette and now you have a brush? I think she logged into a different account.
So I'm just putting a series of white dots in those little circles. And I chose, as I said, I chose that white because I wanted to balance with this. There. So we have the shoulder epaulettes. We're almost finished with this guy. We just have the lettering left to do and a few little details.
Molly Ann Stocks is wondering how does this translate to a smaller tag?
Very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, in the pattern, there's a series of smaller tags with nutcrackers on them.
Shelby Thomas actually pointed her in that direction. So.
Yeah. So yes, this translates very easily. There's not a lot of minutia in this. There's no tiny pattern or anything like that.
I thought JL had a palette for some reason. Oh well. I never had a palette, not yet, because I left the membership a while back.
So for those tassels, I'm just using my liner, and I like to put just a series of little tassels, little strokes that go sort of fan out on each of those little balls.
If Dawn cancels, she should do it on the 1st of August. Otherwise, she'll be charged for July again.
Yes.
Yeah. That is true.
Yep.
But I thought it was based on 30 days.
No, it's based on the date that you joined.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if we can't figure it, hopefully she can get it sorted. There are certain.
Hope Dawn gets it sorted.
Yeah.
I should be reaching my palette soon. Yes, you have a golden paintbrush.
Yes.
I gotta come up with some new ones.
Yes, you do. Dawn, if you are missing any of the downloads or what have you, just let me know, and we will get you sorted. So if you haven't been able to get anything,
I think it's just the access to the videos.
Yeah, but if she's had trouble accessing anything, I mean, we'll make sure she gets whatever she's supposed to have.
Yeah. You're paying for it, you're gonna get it.
Yeah. So, I like these tassels. I don't like them too long. I'm usually going about 1/4 of an inch down. Find that's plenty.
Ow.
But like I said, I prefer to come out, down and out, so that they sort of fan out a little bit instead of doing them straight down. They just look better this way. Straight down kind of looks a little boring. So there we have tassels. Super easy.
It won't let me play membership videos on my TV like I do with Saturday lessons.
That's a good one.
I don't know.
Couldn't tell you.
Don't know. That's a new one for me. Are you casting or are you using your TV's like YouTube app? That might have, it could be device specific.
Yeah.
Can she get into the paid site on Facebook? Oh, I'm willing to bet she still has access to the
Well,
page.
she should, yeah.
Yeah.
But the videos don't play there.
No. Videos play on YouTube.
There we go. Okay. So we've got our nutcrackers pretty much done, except for the little fur cap trim on the hat. And this is where I like taking my rake. And I'm going to take a little of that warm white. And even though this is white, I want to come out past the edge of the hat just a little bit, that trim. I just want to see a little bit of fuzz, I think is the word. I just want this to look a little furry, so I wanted to put a little fuzz with the rake. Doesn't have to be much, just a little. Just so that he appears to be a little fuzzier. It is fur, after all. And then we're going to use a little bit of thinned lamp black, and it's heavily thinned. I'm using a little bit of glaze to thin this out because I want to make little strands of hair. Like so, if I can get there. There we go. So I just want like little patches, like so, with that thinned lamp black. And it's just a little cross hatch. It doesn't have to be neat and tidy. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just mimicking some ermine. That's all. With a few little patches. And I'm using a liner because I didn't want this to be heavy. I wanted it to be hair-like. And you can come out, if you find you're not getting that fuzzy look the way you wanted, take a liner brush. If you can't get the rake to do what you want it to do, just take that liner brush. Just make that fur look a little fuzzy. And then I'm going to dry this. We're going to use the same blue that we used for those, for the shading on the eyes and on those jewels. So I'm going to take a little bit of that turquoise blue, and we're going to put a little shadow along the bottom of that fur trim with a little touch of that blue. And then I'll dry that, and then we're going to just shade that a little bit with just a touch of asphaltum. Now, at this point, while you've got your brush full of asphaltum, I'm going to put a little shadow along the bottom over top of that blue, like so. You can also deepen a few shadows on the crown if you feel that it's not quite dark enough. This is your chance to adjust a few of those things. Now you can do the same thing to the, to this wonderful little tassel here. I'm just putting a little bit of that blue over top of that white, just to balance it out so these two are equal. And a little blue. And then I'm going to take a little asphaltum.
You want some Slim Shadies?
Some Slim Shadies? I like the blue. So I'm just taking a little asphaltum and shading over top of those tassels. Just separates them a little bit, gives them a little more shape. And again, it balances the color. Now I'll dry him, and we're ready to do our lettering.
Renee, how come when I share my name doesn't show up on the screen? Because if you're sharing on YouTube, YouTube's security settings don't allow our software to do that.
Yep.
Facebook, on the other hand,
They're good with it.
they're fine with it.
So the lettering, I base coated, because of the size of the lettering, I went in and base coated mine with, I'll grab a rigger here. It's not a rigger, that's a round. Couldn't find my butt with both hands today. There we go, rigger.
Are you done with the teeth? They look really blue on my screen.
Yep, they look really blue here too. I just overdid it with the teeth. You could take a little asphaltum and tone that down. So this is how I base coated my lettering. I just took that sunset gold. If you don't have sunset gold, put a coat of warm white down first and then hit them with the saffron yellow. So if you don't have that sunset gold, white first, then saffron yellow. This sunset gold is a little more opaque, so it didn't really need some warm white underneath it because it covered quite well in 2 coats. But that's all I did. I just used the rigger and base coated this in. It's a pretty straightforward font, so you don't really have to be too technical about getting the color on. But you just want to make sure that everything is straight and level. That's the most important thing.
Oh. I have Miss Crystal's question.
Oh?
Yeah. She's wondering about the fast dry glaze and the shine it leaves, the sheen it leaves behind. How can we get that to go away?
You can't. I hit everything with matte spray. You can always put a coat of matte medium over top of everything if you want. Unfortunately, that sheen is just something we have to live with. In general, though, I don't find it too much of a problem because I finish everything anyway with a little bit of matte spray. So that has never really been an issue. But unfortunately, it does leave a slight difference in sheen. If you can, give it a good shake before you use it, because there are flattening agents in it. And they could just be sitting at the bottom. So I'm going to dry that, and this one is super easy. The lettering on this is super easy. But I'm going to show you something. So in the pattern, you will have noticed that after you do your line drawings, trace on your line drawings, it asks you to shade. And it's shading around everything with a little bit of thinned lamp black. You don't want the color full strength, but you want enough that it changes the value back there a little bit. So I'm just putting a float of lamp black on the right side of the lettering. And it is just a thin float. You don't need to have it too strong, but it's just enough to give the lettering a little bit of elevation so that you don't have them, they're not just sitting there flat on the surface. So it does give things just a little bit of dimension. And
my Krylon matte spray leaves spray bubbles on the surface no matter how much I shake it first.
Spray bubbles?
It leaves little bubbles on the surface.
Yeah. That's too close.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to be far away. It's just a little too much of the varnish is hitting the surface. If you're too close, you're getting that kind of thing. Yeah, that's the problem. There we go. So I'm just using up that little bit of lamp black I had left in my brush. Damn it. So we need to put a shadow at the bottom of these letters. We're just mimicking gold for this. So I'm using Orange Flame. And we're going to float the bottom like so. And I walk that color up. You want to bring it about halfway. Just like that. Don't try to get it all done in one shot. A lot of the time, that's why people struggle with it. They try to get everything done in one go, and it just doesn't work. You end up with too much paint on the brush. So, this is me trying not to do things in one go. So, halfway up.
I'm not getting much from Facebook right now. ¿Por qué?
Here we go.
Where's all the Facebook people? Oh. There's all the Facebook people.
Brenda Owen, I'm currently working on Tracy's mixed media orchid piece on a blue background for my mom who collects blue glass and grows beautiful orchids, so this design is perfect for her. Yes, I remember that one. That is on a pixelated palette. That was a nice piece.
Right here. Okay.
Oh my goodness. This thing is not scrolling. Here we go. Don't like crawling. You know what? Rust-Oleum makes a really, Jessica, that's a good point. Rust-Oleum does make a really good clear matte finish. You do have to shake it really, really well. And you have to be at least 8 to 10 inches away from your surface when you spray. And I start my spray off my surface. And then work from left to right. I don't start spraying when I'm over my surface. So I've got one coat of that pretty orange flame along the bottom of my letters. It's not looking like much yet, but it will. So I'm going to start with the second float. And again, I'm walking it up about halfway. And that second float gets a little deeper. And this way you have complete control over it. Putting it on in thin overlapping layers, one float at a time, gives you so much more control over how intense that color gets. So now I've got a pretty nice float across the bottom. I'm going to dry it again. I'm going to give it one more, and then we'll worry about our highlight. Doing it this way also gives you a really nice gradient.
Will Farmhouse Honey be available as an e-packet?
Yes, it will. It will be available Monday.
Boom. The more you know.
Yeah. My members still have until tomorrow to download that pattern. And then it goes onto the regular website. So
My husband just screamed, "Don't spray that near my my truck."
yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not allowed to spray near my husband's bike.
Yeah, there's a motorcycle in the garage that she's not allowed to spray near.
No. And besides, I use a box.
Yeah.
So I don't have overspray everywhere. So on that last float of color, you're going to come about halfway up the halfway mark.
So a quarter of the way
a
up.
quarter of the way up the whole thing. And it just gives you a nice deep finish at the base. And then you get a nice gradient. Halfway up.
Had to overcomplicate.
Honest to God, really?
You got to come up halfway of halfway up.
Yeah, halfway of halfway up.
So
I meant to say halfway up that shading. But
There you
your
go.
way was much better. One
quarter of the way up. Done.
Certainly simpler, that's for sure. Wow.
It's okay. It happens.
Oh, yeah, it does. So we're going to put a highlight on the top of this letter, and I come in from the edge just slightly, and we're going to come down a little, and I'm going to do the same thing on the top of the N, in slightly from the edge. And it's just a light float. And I only float down until it just starts to meet with the shadow. It doesn't have to be bright either, because you're going to stroke in the remaining highlight. So we have a nice little highlight on there.
Jeez. Lots of talking today.
Yeah. And don't forget about the inside portion of that O, because it needs the same highlight. And then there's this little bit here needs highlight. Then we're going to dry that, and then it gets a final light impact point. And then I got to fix these teeth because that bright blue is bugging the hell out of me.
Halfway of halfway sounds like a quarter.
I know.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
You are
You
correct.
just leave it to me to complicate something that didn't need complicating.
Quarter of the way up.
A quarter of the way up would have worked just fine.
I spray outside as I would not want to get any spray on my 1969 Pontiac Firebird.
No, you would not.
He would kill me. You know,
Yes,
I'd
he
have to
would.
move out.
And it would be a justified homicide.
Yeah, 1969 Pontiac Firebird.
Oh my goodness, beautiful car.
Does he have the Hawaiian shirt to match? And the mustache? And the aviators? Because I would. I'd shave my beard if I had that car. Shave the beard, just have the mustache. And aviators.
So the rest of the highlight is just a stroke of white, of that warm white. Now we're going to dry this, and then we're going to finish this out. And then Renee has to spin some names.
Yes, I do.
Yep.
Let me get the name generator going here.
What did Patrick say that was so funny? Men in their cars. So I'm going to get a little bit of that fabulous gold. I do like my gold.
So, Don Lavelle just joined as a member. And I gave her the blue brush.
That's so weird.
I'm going to check the membership list now to see if there's 2 Don Lavelles.
What the hell? Okay. So I'm going to thin out a little bit of this 24 karat gold, whichever gold you choose to use. And I'm going to generously spatter my surface. I'm using this method because I like the finer spatter for this, and I love the gold. It looks so pretty over top of all of it. Over top of our Nutcracker. Over top of all of that stenciling.
I do have 2 Don Lavelles.
Yeah. Are they the same Don Lavelle?
No, because I have a Don Lavelle with the emoji is a D.
Okay.
And then Don Lavelle where the emoji is something green.
Huh.
So I think you may have 2 accounts done.
It sure looks like it. Yeah. So, I've spattered this with gold, and I also got a hair. There we go. So, I want to finish out the edges of this with my gold pen. I like finishing things this way, especially the more festive items. So, gives it a nice gold trim, which is in keeping with our overall color palette.
Okay.
There we go. So I'm going to dry this. Now, to hang this, I have some really pretty little, I wouldn't call it ribbon, more like a gold trim. I think that's what I'll use. But a nice gold ribbon would be pretty. Be a great way to hang this up. But it would look so cute in the middle of a wreath at Christmas time.
I'm going to switch to wheel time.
Okay.
And the wheel's not popping up. Why not?
There we go.
Where is my wheel?
Oh, I like this one. This one turned out even nicer than the first one.
There's my wheel.
But I think, I don't think, I know that I base coated that the wrong color. The jewel in the middle.
Shuffle, 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 shuffle.
I don't know what color I used.
Dude.
I'm going to have to figure that out.
So Don Lavelle. I don't know what happened there, Don.
Yep.
I think you may have 2 accounts with on the same MasterCard or whatever your payment method is.
Yeah. Our Dawn is something green. Yes, she is.
Okie dokie. I need...
He's trying to bring up the wheel.
There we go. We're ready to go. Who wants 4 square brushes?
Everybody.
Hmm?
I now do the edges of all my ornies with this pen. So much easier. Yes, it is. I know. I didn't use Bahama Blue. I was just trying to carry color, and I think that's where I got lost. I forgot that which blue that I used for those gemstones. But either way, they turned out really, really nice.
All right. Clickety, clickety.
Don't forget my teeth. Yes, Donna, thank you for reminding me. I needed to fix those teeth.
We're spinning.
You're spinning. I'm going to fix my teeth. Because I kind of overdid it with the whole blue thing. So I'm just going to put a wash of warm white over top of this because...
They can't see it.
I know. But they can hear me.
So we got... Oh, there we go. Laura Villegas?
Laura Villegas.
Villegas.
There, I just put a wash of warm white over those teeth so they don't look quite so blue. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't look like he's been eating blue Slurpees.
Slash puppies.
Gwen. Thanks, Gwen. I'm glad you like this project. It's a fun one. He's super easy to paint.
Judy Thacker tips. I know. Doesn't work here on Saturdays. There we go.
The only thing I have left to do is to clean up some graphite lines. I'll do that with my black eraser.
Renee, can you please check to see if there's still 2? Sure. Bring it the members. There's 1 Don Lavelle.
And remember that the other one won't end until it hits the date for membership or original
there's
membership.
2 Don Lavelles. Yes.
Yeah. So it will show until the date of her original join date.
Okay. Spinning again. We'll give it another quick shuffle. Shuffle. In bed.
So, it's so pretty when we get all the graphites. All the graphite lines are gone. It looks so much better.
Who do we got? Denise Van Newkirk.
Wow. My pal Denise. Ooh, there we go. Look at that.
It's been a while since she's won something.
It has.
She just won a 5-brush set Dynasty Flow Squirrel.
Cool.
Boom. Boom.
Done. I like him.
You like them?
I like him. I'm happy.
And we'll spin again.
It's funny, but I like the lighter blue jewel.
I do too.
Yep. I like the lighter blue, even though it was a boo-boo, but I like the lighter blue.
Lillian Davis.
Right on. Lillian. Lillian is in South Carolina. South Carolina, North Carolina. She's in Durham.
One of the Carolinas.
One of the Carolinas. So I'm just, I'm finishing mine off with a coat of matte medium over everything. Just to seal everything in nice and tight.
And we'll do the last one a little bit later.
So, I'm sealing this off with a coat of matte medium for a couple of reasons. One, I don't have any ink in this one, so I don't have to worry too much about smearing anything. But this is how you fix those little shiny spots that you were worried about with the matte. From the Joe Sonia, you get those spots where they're, the sheen level is uneven, and this is a great way to balance that out. So if you don't have anything that you're worried about smearing, like ink or what have you, this is a great way to do that. And then you don't have to worry about it. It gives everything a nice coat too, seals it in, protects it a little bit.
Oh, Tony says she received her encaustic brushes yesterday.
Nice.
She says, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I get a kick out of it, people posting their happy mail. It's great fun. I'm glad everybody has been getting their stuff. So I've got nice coat, matte medium over top of that surface. Seals everything in nice. Protects everything. So at this point, if I wanted to adjust something, maybe deepen shadows, or maybe I wanted to fix something, I could do it really easily without having to worry about damaging anything else. So if I wanted to add on to this, I can do that. If I wanted to fix a shadow, if I wanted to do something and then I had to take it off, I could do that without worrying about damaging everything else. So a coat of matte medium is never a bad thing. It seals everything in nice and tight, gives it a modicum of protection so that when you're working on it or transporting it and you haven't gotten to varnishing it yet, at least it's protected in some way. But I'm quite happy with him. I got the highlight on the right side this time, on the arm. Tell you, some days that elevator does not go to the top floor. And the other nice thing about matte medium is how fast it dries.
Boom. Somebody's wondering what type of matte medium you're using.
I use Deckwart's Media Line. It's this one right here.
Deckwart medium, matte medium.
I love this stuff. I think it should be in a gallon jar. because I use it a lot.
Should we send this video to your friends at Decor? Hey, gallon. Just saying.
Gallon jug. They could put this in a gallon jug. I'd buy it in a gallon jug.
You didn't ever have to buy it again.
No, I would.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You use enough of it?
I use enough of it. I use it for a lot of things. Decoupage, image transfer.
Oh, slide the other piece in. They want to see the difference between the jewels.
Yeah.
There you go. A little bit different.
Yep.
He's a little bit brighter on...
and I think a lot of that is quite simply that blue is much brighter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the blue is definitely much brighter, but you also have a couple other different color choices going on there.
No, they're all the same.
Well, maybe some shading choices, because the crown's much darker.
Oh, yeah. Again, that was just the asphaltum, and like I said, you could put on...
Yeah, and the cheeks.
And the cheeks are the same color.
Are they?
Yep.
Well, they look different on camera.
Nope, same color.
Do you splatter them?
I did splatter them. I splattered it with a little bit of 24 karat gold. I do like the little bit of just a shimmer. This would be fun done with a little bit of glitter too. You could pick and choose where you put it. I think that would be fun. Galaxy glitter on the cap sleeves would be cute. I think that would be fun.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Galaxy glitter is the one that doesn't shed.
Oh, that's the one that's got the varnish in it?
It's got the varnish in it.
Okay. I like that stuff.
You can use Galaxy varnish, or you could use this one here, the Starlight varnish, which is the fine glitter, if you prefer a more subtle sparkle. But it works like a hot damn.
I would put it inside the tassels, actually.
Yeah, in the tassels would be fun. There's all kinds of fun things you could do with it.
Give the effect that there's like silvers and golds inside the tassels.
Yeah.
Like there should be on a soldier.
So, yeah, there should be sparkle there. I'm going to sign this with my gold paint pen, assuming my paint pen works. Ooh. Me and this paint pen have a love-hate relationship.
Is the matte gel the same as the matte medium?
Yes and no. A matte medium is a little thinner. It's not as thick. But the matte gel will do exactly the same thing.
And do you sell the background stencil? Of course.
I do, yes. It's the M2-3. It's called Flourish.
At TracyMoreau.net.
Yep. It is on the website. I don't know how many are left in that.
Which one did you say it was?
M2-3.
Oh, right up front here, eh?
Yeah.
I think you're good.
Yeah, okay. Good.
Yeah, I'd say at least 15 or 12.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, but if we happen to sell out, our dear friend Sandy McTeer has them on her website as well.
Yes.
So, but yep, and that is our Noel Nutcracker.
Boom.
Boom. That was the last of our Christmas pieces for Christmas in July. I had fun with that. It was so much fun.
We still have one more name.
We do have one more name.
Yes. Let me get it. One more name. One more name. Quick shuffle of the names here. Blah, 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 blah. And spin.
Yep. And the pattern for Farmhouse Honey, that's this one here, will be up on the website on Monday. I love this piece. It's a fun one.
Robin Richer.
Yahoo! Robin Richer.
Robin Richards getting some brushes.
Dynasty Faux Squirrel. Awesome. So we have a bunch of stuff going up. Just got another huge shipment of Tombow.
Tombow.
Yeah, we did get more of the drawing pens in the 3 pen sets.
There we go.
Also got a notification of a price increase for those coming up. So if you want them while they're still cheap, because nothing is cheap anymore. But yeah, while those Tombow drawing pens are affordable, and we did get the open stock, so we have them in the 1, 2, and the 3. So if you're looking for those, we're going to be doing projects with some of that stuff in coming up soon. I've been having way too much fun trying out some of their new products, and these pens are flippin' amazing. I'm in love with my mechanical pencils, and we just got a bunch of those in too. And we finally got restocked on all of those, the knock erasers. If you've been looking for these, we have them in all colors. Pink. Jeez.
You okay?
Yeah. No. Medication will help.
Sooner or later.
Sooner or later. I can't pick that up.
All right now.
It doesn't
What do you need?
I'd have to crawl under my desk to get one.
What do you need?
A knock eraser. The white eraser looks like a pen. They're pink, they're green, they're blue. There we go. There. So these knock erasers, we got some more of these in. These are flippin' fantastic. But yeah, we have them in all colors now. Everybody, for whatever reason, really loved the pink ones, so they were selling like hotcakes. So we got the pink ones in and we got the blue ones back in. So we have all colors available. And the same with the mechanical pencils. We have those in all colors too, all of the barrel colors. Those are all in. The drawing pens are in. And starting next Saturday, the giveaways are all Tombow. So we have, for next Saturday, the giveaway is a Tombow lettering set.
Boom!
It's a gorgeous set. It comes with everything
Nice.
you need to do more modern and contemporary calligraphy. And it also comes with a nice little book on how to do lettering with the Tombow set. It's a nice set. We have 3 of those to give away next weekend.
Dang.
Yeah.
Next question is, what are we doing next Saturday?
Next Saturday, we're doing lightning bugs.
Ah, yes.
Yep. The project is called Shine Bright, and it's part of the Little Lantern series. So I will have that up for you on, I think, Monday. So pattern is written. I just have to finish painting it. It's not a difficult piece to paint, but it is a lot of fun.
What? A what?
A what?
That's what Sheila's saying. A what?
A what?
A what? What is it?
Oh, lightning bugs. It's called Shine Bright, and it's one of the little lanterns, much like the holiday blessings, the little mason jar lantern. Only this time, instead of a candle, it's filled with lightning bugs. So it's going to be a fun piece to paint. I think you'll enjoy it.
Sheila's just confused.
So we're going to have some fun with that. The surface I'm using is the 9x12 tag, the big one. But the line drawing is developed for an 8x10 as well. So you can paint on an 8x10 canvas, on an 8x10 panel, or on 8x10 watercolor paper if you want to. It's entirely up to you. It's not going to be a hard one to paint, but it is going to be fun. That I can promise.
What?
What?
Were you aware that knock erasers take off dried paint if you wet the eraser?
No, I wasn't.
Might have to test that.
Yeah, I will. But I love these. I love these. And I'm excited about this one because I love this. So now I have to do a mate to this.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of doing like strawberry jam or
I knew it.
something like that. I'm just in love with this whole little fat jar design idea. It just appeals to me on a lot of levels. So,
Yeah.
but
should
yeah,
be,
strawberry jam would be fun, I think. Yep.
And should we warn them ahead of time that sometime in August we will not be doing a Saturday Live?
I'm trying to work towards a day off.
We should just warn them now.
I plan on taking a Saturday off in the next few weeks, so I'll warn you now. But what we want to do is to have a video ready for you before I take that time off, so that you can still sit down and enjoy a fun project on the Saturdays. So it'll mean a little work on my part, but that's okay. I don't mind. And but I want to take a day off and go to the beach. I want to go walk in the sand, go pick sea glass. I want to get on the ferry and go to Grand Manan. That's what I want to do. Haven't had a day off in a while, so I'm looking forward to it. But believe me, I'm not going to leave you in the lurch. We'll make sure that you have something fun to paint when I decide to take a day off. So, having said all of that, thanks so much We're so glad that you come and join us every Saturday. I love spending my time here with you guys, and I hope that you enjoy it too. And I hope that you're enjoying the projects. I love that you're giving me great ideas for Halloween. And Renee is doing a little happy dance in the corner and holding up his phone to show me the total for the month of July going to our local SPCA shelter, $239.74. And mwah, thank you so much. We really do appreciate your doing that. And helping us with that. It's great. So all proceeds from Super Chat on the YouTube channel go to our local animal shelter to help them support the puppers and the kitties. Anything else?
Feed them, spay them, neuter them, any medications they may need.
Yeah. Veterinary assistance, all of those good things.
And if you're in the New Brunswick area, come to Fredericton, go to the Fredericton SPCA, and pick up Mickey.
Pick up Mickey. Yes.
I think I have to... give me a second here.
Poor little Mickey. He's going to pull up the picture. You know that. All right.
Give me 1 second.
Anywho.
Where is he?
You need to be quicker.
Peace.
So having said all of that, Renee's looking for the picture of Mickey. And while he's doing that, I'm going to say thank you for joining us every Saturday. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that you know when we go live and when we post new video. And if you're not a member, please consider it. We have a lot of fun. And we'd love to have you join us. So there's that. And we'll see you next Saturday, same time, same bat channel. And we'll be painting Shine Bright. All right, you guys, we love you, and please stay safe. We'll see you again next weekend.
There's Mickey. Go get Mickey.
Mickey needs a home.
Mickey needs a home. He's a sweetheart. Look at the face.
Oh, that's what everybody wants on a Saturday afternoon, a guilt trip.
Yes.
Take care, guys.
Go get him. Till next time.